Round number one is underway here at Fight Time 6. Pride and Glory, Moises Abreu in the black trunks from American Top Team Fort Lauderdale. His opponent, Pedro Rubio, in the red trunks with the blue and white trim. Alex Donna with you here alongside my verbal sparring partners, Dean Thomas. And our guest commentator for today, after that thunderous leg kick, is Rich, the Raging Bull at Toledo. Rubio, both men now swinging for the fences, each missed with a left hand. Here comes Abreu now, working for the single leg. A lot of heavy shots thrown, none landed.
A lot of energy being expended early.
Big time elbow from top control there by Abreu. Hammer fist lands as well. Ground and pound now for Moises Abreu, who has certainly one of the most detailed haircuts we've ever seen in the Fight Time cage. That must have taken a while.
Oh, man, that thing is elaborate. I was checking it out yesterday at the weigh-in like, man, it looked like a sculpture.
It's a work of art.
It took that whole getting lines thing from the 80s to the next level.
Like, it's got, like, little fades, like, in each line and everything.
From the 80s into the new millennium, right here at Fight Time 6.
I remember when getting two lines all the way around was getting out there. It was crazy with the flat top.
We had two lines in your eyebrows.
Abreu, guys, is making his pro debut as he completes another takedown. Pedro Rubio, meanwhile, is 0-1, looking for his first career victory. Side control for Abreu, but Rubio back to his feet now, at least temporarily, down to one knee. Still controlling the back, though, is Abreu.
I was a little, Abreu really looked like he wanted to get this fight down pretty quick.
A suplex! Slammed him, but Rubio popped up quicker, lands that uppercut. Rubio popped up quicker than Abreu did after that slam.
Yeah, sometimes too much adrenaline is a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, Abreu's got to be really careful because a lot of the things that he's doing is really, really costing him a lot of energy.
He's fighting emotionally, and you get yourself in trouble like that.
And that's kind of what happens, especially in your first fights, especially when it's like in your hometown and all your friends are watching.
Abreu flips over Rubio for another takedown, works himself into the full mount, ground and pound. Here we come. Trying to buck him off as Rubio does so successfully. Back and forth first round, lands another uppercut as Rubio. He's landed the more significant strikes in the stand-up, I think.
Well, the one thing, the contrasting styles is that Rubio is like, he's kind of being a little bit more patient. I mean, he's getting thrown around a bit, but he's a little bit more patient and calculating his shots a little bit.
Landed another right hand there inside the clinch. Dropping down a level now is Abreu, but the takedown is stuffed. North-south now, controlling the head is Rubio, dropping in some more punches. Rubio's got that stocky build at 5'7", landed a left hand again. He's scoring on the feet, but gets taken down time and time again.
The thing is, Abreu's got to really be careful. He's spending a lot of energy. Every time he breaks away, you see it in his face. He takes a deep breath. You got to be really careful with that because it's still the first round.
That's probably a common feeling, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, making your pro debut. Maybe he just hasn't really learned how to conserve that energy yet in a fight, the adrenaline pumping, all that.
I mean, it took me years to learn how to do that.
Yeah, and depending on, what his background is before fighting, I mean, you don't know how much the guy's competed before, so sometimes when they haven't competed that much and they come into an event like this, the adrenaline just kind of takes control of them.
Howard Davis Jr.'s Fight Time Promotions. Howard Davis Jr., a pugilist, one of the best amateur boxers, if not the best of all time, a 1976 gold medalist, now an MMA promoter. Fight Time 6 Pride and Glory is brought to you by Patriot National Insurance Group. Strength, excellence, and tenacity in the workers' comp arena. Some tenacity now being shown from top control here for Moises Abreu. I mean, I guess now being in top control, if he extended a lot of energy, can rest a little bit now.
Well, yeah, I think this is kind of his element. He comes from Rafael Diaz's academy in HT Fort Lauderdale, so being on the ground is something he's no stranger to. So this is probably where he wants to be, where he's a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you can see him starting to control his pace a little bit now and start to be a little more thoughtful about his approach rather than just kind of recklessly attacking.
In the final seconds here of round number one, could be a difficult round to score. I mean, I guess if Abreu rides out the final 30 seconds here on the ground, that could give him the edge. But when the fight was in the stand-up, guys, I thought Rubio was inflicting more damage. But the takedown battle and the wrestling has certainly been won here by Moises Abreu.
Yeah, a lot of times at the end of the round is when the fighter makes the biggest impression upon the judges too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Abreu for controlling this round.
We will go to round number 2. Round number 2 between Pedro Rubio and Moises Abreu. Abreu in the all-black trunks, Rubio in the red trunks with the white and blue trim. Rubio in his second pro fight, guys, had an 0-1 start to his career. Hasn't fought professionally in nearly 2 years. Suffered a knockout loss in his debut in October of 2009. So that's a long time, guys, to simmer on a loss and wait nearly 2 years to try to avenge it.
Yeah, you wonder what he did in between that time to, you know, get a different result this time out.
Coming hard again is Rubio. Right hand, that one looked like it landed. We see Abreu again dropping for the takedown. Once again stuffed by Rubio. Landing some punches there from the north-south. Knees. Knee to the head.
Yeah, Rubio looks a little bit more composed this round.
Well, I think he was composed last round, too. He just couldn't stop, like, with Abreu's athleticism, really. You know, and it just made it kind of look bad for him.
Yeah, no doubt. Abreu came out like a tornado.
Working for the single leg again is Abreu. I mean, the key for him, no secret in this fight so far, has been get the fight to the ground. He was able to do so a lot in round number 1, which brings up the question. We'll start with you this time, Rich. How'd you score round 1?
Round 1 was 10-9 for Abreu. I think, you know, it was back and forth for the majority of the round, but in those last, you know, minute and a half, he was able to secure top position, work a little bit, and control the fight. And, you know, like I said before, a lot of times it's, you know, what happens towards the end of the round that makes the impression on the judges.
And Dean Thomas, how about you?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Rich 100%. You know, Abreu he controlled the round. I mean, you know, he seems to be fading a little bit, but still controlling the round. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter how much you fade. If you're still controlling, you know, you're winning rounds.
Working very hard on that takedown. May have lost it.
He's got to be careful here.
Nice
this is tight.
throw right into the mount, and he taps. He taps to the choke, the guillotine choke. Pulled it out of absolutely nowhere, did Pedro Rubio. And he does, in fact, avenge the 0 on his record. Now 1-1 after his second pro fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a guillotine choke at 2 minutes and 2 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, Pedro Rubio.